Now, the fourth release was the Guyanan rum. When it dropped July 2022, so August, September time, maybe by the time it came out properly, $72.95 in the UK, $91.84. A little bit expensive. Am I going to be spending £73 on a rum? Let's kind of find out and dive in. So I've got the nuts and bolts. Let me tell you, this smells quite nice actually. You know, that's what I say in the previous video, I'm never that excited about Guyanese rum. I kind of like it in cocktails, but you know, I've kind of gone off it or gone away from it in sipping rums. I don't really, you know, I like the Eldorado 12, I like the Eldorado 15, but I'm not the hugest fanboy like I was a few years ago. I don't know what's changed, I don't know why, but yeah, we should dive in. So the facts, let's give you the fact bombs. 51% ABV. So this is going up now. We are going up in ABV. I don't know whether this is the thing, whether the whole things go up in ABV. I haven't looked actually. 51% ABV, molasses based. Fermentation time is a week. That's the longest we've had so far at this. Distillation is a blend of Port Morant. Remember the wooden pot still. They have one of the wooden pot stills they have at DDL. So it's a blend of Port Morant and column stills. They've got 7 column stills, I think, yeah. 8, oh, I don't know. They've got various column stills there at DDL. Year of distillation, 2007. This one's an old one. So 13 years in bourbon casks, 200-litre bourbon casks. And then it's transferred for 2 years in 350-litre Ferrand cognac casks. All right, so it's had 15 years, 13 years in DDL, 2 years in France. Volatile substances, for those of you that are interested, 179 grams per litre. Esters, this is really low. This is the lowest one so far, 37 grams per litre. Dosage 0. Let's dive in for the old nostrils. Again, this is interesting. This smells nothing like I would expect like an Eldorado to smell. It hasn't got those rich fruit, the fruitcake vibes to it. It hasn't got that. It's more, what's that? Again, it's an easy cop out, but it's like that whole, it's like, I forgot what it was now, that pastel de nata, that sort of custard pastry kind of vibe going on. But I mean, other things definitely coming off there. I get a lot of sort of vanilla on there, actually a little bit of citrusy. I would go more lime zest coming off there. Almond, Disaronno. I kind of get that sort of Disaronno vibe off there. And I think that's where I'm going to kind of leave it. I'm not convinced I really pick out anything else too much off there. It smells kind of rich and robust without it being anything like Eldorado 15 or Eldorado 12. Wow, that's delicious. That is my favourite one so far. Oh my God, I like that. Fruity, rich, light. I don't think it's that heavy. I don't think it's rich and robust. That's, for me, that's a lot lighter than the Fiji. A lot lighter. I don't know where to start with tasting notes. It's almost, it's going to be controversial, but I've spoken about it quite a few times. You know, I like my multi-country, multi-island blends where you've got all those different layers, and that's why I like them. There's so many different layers going on. This has got that. There's a little bit of fruitcake, like berry notes in there as well, like so sultanas and that. There's like berry notes. There's vanilla. There's marzipan. I would say, and this is the weird thing, it's pointing me towards making like an old fashioned with orange bitters. I kind of would want to pair orange bitters with this. So I kind of think that it's got that sort of orangey kind of vibe to it. That's the kind of sort of flavour profile that I get. But there's so much more going on. Do I think it's got those sort of, like, let's be honest, 15 years in barrels? Again, no, I'm not picking this anywhere close to being a 15-year-old rum. Yes, it's got those layers, but it hasn't got the body for me for a 15-year-old rum. And that's why I like it. Again, for me, I'm going slightly younger. I'm going like a gift. It's just an easy number to pick out, like a 7 or 8-year-old rum. I think this is really delicious, sumptuous. Maybe maybe there's a hint of, it's going to sound nuts, it's going to sound proper nuts coming off a Guyana rum, but maybe a hint of floralness coming off there. I don't know what it is. It's just something very, very different. It's undosed, so there's no kind of sugar or anything to kind of amp those flavours up. It's just very different to what I kind of expect a Guyanese rum to be. This would, to me, so this is weird. This is how my head is. For me, even though it's a 15-year-old rum, for me, this is, I'm going to enjoy one of these most nights. This is not a one revisit every sort of, maybe have a glass a week. You know, this is one where I would automatically grab it at the end of every night sort of thing. I really love that. Has it got, I don't even really get those sort of leathery tobacco sort of vibes that I get off the Guyanese rum. This is very, very approachable. 20, I've just seen a number of 21 casks, it's done. So for me, right, so here's, you know, here's the factors. This is why I like Plantation a bit. Now we're 4 rums in, we kind of got a different, you know, fermentation times, different volatile substances, different esters, you know, that all, even though they're like different ages, you know, the amount of sort of esters that are involved, the length of fermentation really does kind of change different rums up. This for me is in first place out of the 4 so far. I wasn't expecting that at all. But this for me is first, followed by the Jamaican. This would be a restock. So for here, for price wise, what was the price? 73 pounds in the UK. Eldorado 50 to 55 pounds in the UK. For me, is it 20 pounds more than Eldorado 15? I think because it's limited release, then you would kind of have to say yes, but I enjoy that. Let's just sum up. I enjoy that a lot more than I do the Eldorado 15. A lot more. This brings for me a lot more to the party, and I'm really happy sipping this. That is delicious and vibrant and lovely and actually quite light. Yeah, that's my favourite so far. So 4 down, let's crack on to number 5, Barbados. Again, with the exception of Plantation, the XO, and you know, I'm not a huge Barbados fan. So what's this going to taste like?